Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth, Village Farms traders and investors. It's Rod with Pow Group, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news and interviews. Today is Monday, August 18th. Happy Monday, and I hope you had a great weekend. In this video, we're going to dive into VFF. We're going to take a look at the price chart, the technicals, what to expect there in terms of that in the days, weeks, months ahead. I'll give my thoughts and opinions. As always, it's not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. Spoiler alert, we could be seeing $3.61 as the next target, and as the rally continues to ramp up here, it's been on an absolute tear, one of the strongest in the sector at the moment. Before we get to it, make sure to smash the like. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell. You'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. And full disclosure, I do own VFF stock in my portfolio. It's not a huge position. I've been adding to it. I wasn't the biggest bull when they had the veggie business. I just wasn't sold on their business model, but since they decided to divest that, that's when I really became a mega bull on VFF, and I've been slowly adding to my position. And you're probably wondering, like, when's it gonna come back down, right? Classic MJ, it's gonna pump and dump eventually, but it is due for at least a 20-30% pullback very, very soon. The RSI is getting extremely heated, but we'll take a look at that in just a moment. You can also follow us over on X, formerly Twitter. The handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as one of my platform of choice going forward. So if you take a look here at VFF, there's been bull flags galore. It started with a weekly bull flag, then we had a second weekly bull flag. We had a daily bull flag as well, and the target on that was 188, and you can see here we hit that target. Now we have an hourly bull flag, which was the case for most MJ stocks, and you can see here that next target is 361. If you just go from the low to the high there with your fib tool, move it out to your 0.32 fib, that gives you a measured move of $3.61. Also, there's an ascending triangle. We had a brutal fake out and bear trap out of that, but you can see here we're still respecting it and we're breaking out of it now. So the target for that is 322. But look at this hourly RSI. Look at the daily and weekly RSI as well. The daily RSI is currently sitting at 80, but it was above 90 there at one point. And on the weekly time frame, the RSI is running extremely hot as well. We're sitting at 89. So anything above 70 and above is considered heavily overbought. So you want to be very, very cautious. You can see here we had a weekly bull flag on this move, a second one, and at this point we could even see a third one. So if we come back down, let me just get rid of the previous one here so that we can see that a bit better here. So if we do start weekly consolidation, we have the potential for another weekly bull flag. So if we go there from our low to the high, just make sure I have that correct. No, I did not. So from the low to the high there, if we do start weekly consolidation in the next week or two, then if we pull back to 192, that could be another weekly bull flag. And again, we're probably due for a pretty sizable correction. If we were to start weekly consolidation and pull back to the 0.32 fib, that's about a 33% correction. So we will more than likely top out at some point in the next, I would say, week or two max, just based on how extended we are here in terms of the RSI, and we have no weekly support all the way down to 98 cents. So once we start weekly consolidation, that'll be a huge red flag, and then we can easily expect about a 20-30% pullback from the local top. But if we do hold that 0.32 fib, keep in mind we did confirm two weekly bull flags back to back, so the odds of a third one confirming, while it's possible, it's not the most likely scenario. But if we were to see that 20-30% correction come back down to around the 0.32 fib, hold it, and then come back up and break resistance, it's still very premature at this point because we haven't even started weekly consolidation, but we'd have a target of $5.73. But this thing has been an absolute monster. It's been on absolute fire. If you take a look at VF on the daily time frame on VFF, we had the golden cross as well with the 50 below the 200-day moving average. That occurred back in June, so that was a major signal that we could see a massive move coming for VFF, and we're even above all of our weekly moving averages at the moment. So this is extremely strong, and we do have the 200 weekly there at 187. We also have the 50-day at 146. So there's going to be a lot of support in that 190 to 180 area. And again, on the weekly time frame, if we do start weekly consolidation, we need to hold that 192 level in order to maintain the weekly bull flag. But it's been an absolute this thing is absolutely on fire. Like, it's by far the most strongest. Look at this. We've retraced pretty much most of this entire collapse. So if we just take our fib tool here from the low to the high to swing low, And let's get rid of our bull flag 1. You can see here that we've almost retraced 50% of this entire dump. So that's going to be major resistance there at 331 as well. And then we have the 618 sitting at 507. So this is great to see. And I just noticed this as well. We're very close to seeing a monthly EMA 12 and 26 bull cross. The EMA 12 is sitting at 130 and EMA 26 is at 144. And that would be only this, yeah, we had a mini one there, but this one was the one that really saw massive upside. And then, yeah, we had a second one there. Technically, that's the third one. So this will be the fourth one. But when you see a monthly EMA 12 and 26 bull cross, that is extremely bullish. And this move all coming off of the lows as well on the monthly time frame. We haven't changed the monthly trend yet. We're flat at the moment. We're not in a downtrend anymore with the break of these lower high and lower low patterns. But this move all coming from 45 cents. And we haven't even started monthly consolidation. And it's more than likely not going to happen at least for another month or so, because even into next month, we're set up for a potential monthly inside bar. So if we do start to pull back here, like I said, we could see that 361 target, somewhere around that level. And then we could see a 20-30% correction. And then we would more than likely come back down with an upper wick and potentially be set up for an inside bar into next month and just tightening up. But as we know, we're waiting on a decision, a determination from the new administration, whether or not they're going to move ahead with rescheduling. And that could come in the next, they said a few weeks. So it was last week. So now we're into week 2. So really we could get an update anytime over the next couple of weeks. And that would definitely fuel us up to that, 361, maybe even up to that $5 level. These things have been absolutely beaten down. So, it's been a brutal 4-year bear market, almost 5-year bear market. So at this point, anything's possible. We can easily go up another 100, 200% from here. But yeah, we're getting very close to monthly overbought as well on the RSI. So that's how quickly things can change, right? We were just down in the dumps. We were in monthly oversold. And now we're getting close to monthly overbought. So again, if you don't know anything about charts or technical analysis, if you just put this RSI into your chart and only look to add when we're getting close to monthly oversold and weekly oversold, and then look to trim when we're getting close to monthly overbought and weekly overbought, you would do better than like 99% of retail traders out there, because it removes the emotions. It removes all of the, the FUD, the fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and all the media trying to get you to buy when you should be selling and selling when you should be buying. When you're getting up here to overbought territory, they want to sell you on the idea that it's just going to go up forever, and VFF's $100 stock, right? They want to get you to hold on forever and not sell. And then at the bottom, they want to panic. They want to make you panic and get all emotional and start making emotional decisions instead of logical decisions. So again, RSI, great way to just remove the emotions and understand that typically, as long as the asset is sound and you believe that it has staying power, well, that was an amazing opportunity there, loading up. I mean, all-time lows, what more could you want? And monthly oversold as well. But we are seeing a stochastic weekly bear cross at the moment, so a little bit of a red flag here on that indicator, but we're still well above the 10-week moving average. MACD is just blasting off into space at the moment, and we just had a bull cross of the 50 and the 100. We could see the 50 and the 200 weekly cross bullish at some point soon. I'd say it's at least a few months. But again, there's a very high probability that rescheduling happens. I would put it in like the 80 to 90% range. And then there's a very good chance, I've been saying for a while now, is that they're going to pivot over to safer banking, or probably going to see uplisting to the NYSE and the NASDAQ. They might even attempt to deschedule, but I think they'll take that incremental approach first. But again, if we get crypto legislation out of the way here, which we already have, the Genius Bill was already signed into law. Now they're working on the Market Clarity Act, which is market structure. So if they do the Clarity Act over the next, they're thinking sometime September, October, well then that's all the crypto legislation that they need and the out of the way. And then I think they're going to pivot over to MJ. But let me know your thoughts and opinions on this. Getting a ton of people asking me, I know you're getting FOMO, and just, be patient. There's always going to be another pullback. But if you're like me, you're just slowly adding to your position, and I'm going to be waiting for at least another 20 to 30% pullback before I load up and back up the truck even more. All right, it's Rod with Pow Group. Thanks again for joining us in the Pursuit of Wealth. A little under the weather today, so and everybody in the Pow Group private community, I'll get caught up. If not entirely today. I'll do that tomorrow. And as a heads up, I'll be interviewing Hugo Alves, CEO of Auxly, on Friday. So if you have any questions, please send them to me. And if you're in the Power Group private community, as always, we'll be crafting the questions together, and we'll decide as a group which questions to include in the interview. All right, have a great night, and we'll see you again in the next video.